Welcome. My name is Greg Mannix, and I work at Life Science Nation. Life Science Nation is a company based in Boston, but we have people all over the world, and we are the hosts of the RESI conference. And the one coming up in Barcelona, RESI Europe 2025, is hosted together between Life Science Nation and BioCat, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So joining me today are Nuria Martí. Do you want to introduce yourself, Nuria?
Yes, thank you very much, Greg. Hello, everybody. My name is Nuria Martí. I'm the Director of Innovation and Business Development in BioCat.
And then we have Adria Gomez.
Yeah, thank you so much, Greg. I work at the Nuria's team as the Innovation and BD Project Manager. So thank you so much for being here with us.
And our special guest today is Meritxell Teixidó. Hello, Meritxell. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, Greg. Yes, I can introduce myself, but I keep from the interview. No, I'm introducing myself. So I'm Meritxell Teixidó. I'm based here in Barcelona, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Gate to Brain. And in the interview, we will know more why we are connected with the RESI and what was it about.
Fantastic. What is RESI Europe, and why is it important to come to RESI Europe for an early stage company? It's really because fundraising is really hard, and Europe is a powerhouse of science, but there's not enough capital in Europe to fund all of the projects that are being developed. It's really important to attend international conferences like RESI, where you'll find investors from all over the world. So the types of companies that come to RESI really go across all of the verticals of life sciences. So it's biotech therapeutics companies, medical device, diagnostics, digital health, also R&D services and tools. And it's companies that are raising seed, which could be like 25K to $2 million or euros, Series A or Series B. That's really the sweet spot of the RESI conference. There are also plenty of investors who invest later stage than Series B. But this is really what I would say is the sweet spot. And RESI is hosted in Europe by Life Science Nation and BioCat. And I was wondering, Nuria, if you could say a few words about BioCat and what you do.
Course. BioCat is an organization, a public-private organization boosted by the Government of Catalonia and the Barcelona Council about 20 years ago. And we are promoting and coordinating the life science and health ecosystem in Catalonia. It's the bioregion of Catalonia, meaning all these ecosystem companies, research centers, hospitals, being one of the top innovation hub in Europe. So we are very honored to collaborate with Life Science Nation in this event and the organization and co-hosting this event, because it's one of our main pillar in BioCat is to promote and to facilitate this relation between the ecosystem of entrepreneurs in Catalonia, companies, and also projects looking for this new spin-off and startup generated in Catalonia, and have this attraction of private capital and investment from investors around the world. So that match very well with our proposal intention for that. So say that we are very happy to be with you, Life Science Nation, and Greg, to promote this event.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Nuria. Yeah, it's so important to bring international investors to Barcelona to get to know the bioregion and to meet all of the great companies like Gate to Brain and many others that are in the region. And I think this is a really great partnership because we want to expand the benefit of the RESI conference to Europe in general. And Barcelona has been a really good host for us. So we're really, really happy to be working with BioCat. So thank you all at BioCat for your support. It's been really great. So who comes to RESI and why is it different? I think the biggest difference about RESI is that about half of the attendees are investors. And you don't see that at any other conference. I go to a lot of conferences and you don't see that. It's usually about half are investors and licensing partners, which, big pharma, big medtech, et cetera. So it's a fantastic opportunity for startups to meet investors and make connections. And late in a few minutes, Mariche will share her experience at RESI, and I think that will be enlightening. So RESI is basically a partnering conference. It's an opportunity to have one-on-one meetings with investors, and you can see here that the investors who come and the licensing partners are. This is from last year. About half of them were from Europe, but over a fourth maybe closer to a third, were North American investors. And that's important because right now, North America is where the bulk of venture money is you can find. I mean, really, European companies have, I think, fantastic programs for early stage funding. There are good grant programs from the European Union, and each of the member states, Spain has its own funding programs for startups. France, Germany, Switzerland, UK, they all have good programs when companies are getting started. But at some point, companies will need to access North American capital. There's no two ways around it. So that's what RESI is about. We have investors from all over the world coming, and apart from the partnering where you can meet with investors, we have something called the Innovators Pitch Challenge. And this is an opportunity that I think is really looking to the interests of the companies that are pitching and making it as beneficial for the companies as possible. The reason I say that is because I don't like to watch pitching events where there's an anonymous audience who nobody knows who's in the audience, and there's no interaction at all with the companies that pitch. They make their pitch and then there's silence and they go and sit down. At RESI, the Innovators Pitch Challenge is a format that allows companies to pitch for 6 minutes and then take 7 minutes of Q&A from a panel of investors that Life Science Nation puts together for each session. So if it's a session on biotech therapeutics, there will be 4 or 5 investor judges that are investors in that space, in therapeutics, medical device, or whatever the session might be. And the interaction is really a valuable part of IPC. The finalists are also given another opportunity to have great visibility at the conference. They get a small table with a branded tablecloth with the logo of the company and the chance to exhibit a poster where they can meet with investors and talk to people and network and really get visibility for their companies. At the end of the day, prizes are announced. It's partially the voting of the actual attendees to the conference and partially the feedback from the investor judges. And we determine who the first, second, and third prize winners are. And last year at RESI Europe in Barcelona, the first prize winner was Mary J. So I'm curious to hear about her experience at RESI. And these are just some images of the IPC. You can see someone pitching to a panel of investor judges who will be interacting afterwards with questions and feedback. Here's one of the companies with their poster and their table where they can speak to people. So this is the benefit of the Innovators Pitch Challenge. We try to make it as powerful as possible for the companies that are pitching so they can make as many connections as possible. Adrian, can you introduce our guest of honor?
Well, thank you so much, Tay, for being here with us. But I would like you to please introduce yourself so everyone can know more about you and Gate2Brain.
Thanks, Adria. First of all, thanks for the invitation. So I'm Mary Chale. People call me Mary, which is somehow easier. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Gate2Brain. So Gate2Brain is a biotech based here in Barcelona. We have been here in the university for 15 years until we create the company. So we were growing here, okay? Somehow the team is spread around the world, but we started here in Barcelona. So I perfectly remember when 1 year ago, Nuria said, "Oh, why don't you go for this RESI that will come for the first time in Barcelona? We will know more what happens next." So that's my starting introduction. I'm really pleased to be here.
Thank you so much, Mary. And so how did Gate2Brain start? How and when?
So Gate2Brain has this technology to help drugs to cross the blood-brain barrier and reach the brain. Is the results of those 15 years of research at the University of Barcelona and IRB, where I was leading that research line. And when we had this technology in July 2020, we created a company called Gate2Brain that develops this platform for different types of drugs, but has a first asset in pediatric oncology and in pediatric brain tumors. So this was the initial creation. I leave my permanent position in July 2020, and I'm 100% at Gate2Brain with my 4 other founders, and nowadays we are 12 people.
Okay, amazing. Could you please give us a bit more of description of your technology and phase of development? We are very curious to know more.
So I think that the blood-brain barrier is the barrier that protects the brain and make it difficult when we need to treat drugs, diseases in the brain, and this is well known, is the bottleneck that everyone finds, no? We develop, or people around the world develop drugs for CNS diseases, but reaching the brain is one of the bottlenecks. So during those 15 years and now the 5 years of Gate to Brain, we discovered that peptides, very small proteins, just from 9 to 15 amino acids, 2 families of them, act as shuttles to cross the barrier without modifying the functioning of the barrier. And we have demonstrated during the years that we can cross small molecules, antibodies, and nanoparticles. And then we decided the first asset is taking one of these shuttles and bringing a chemotherapeutic agent for pediatric and adult glioma. And we are 2 years and a half, or let's say 3 years from a clinical trial. So from the beginning, we had the initial investor from Fundación Botín and Banc Sabadell. And then, as Greg was mentioning, then we were able to attract 4.5 million euros of grants, European and national. And then we were at that stage just last year in June.
Thank you. Actually, you already advanced my next question. So I was going to ask, how was Gate to Brain been financed up to now? So if you have any other comments.
Oh, I can
No.
add.
Yeah.
Yes, I can add something. So I think that there are excellent programs. Well, I know in Spain and in Europe, but I think that everywhere you can find excellent programs to bring things from academia to the creation of the companies and this pre-acceleration. No? And we were, I would not say lucky, but we were honored to be selected by Fundación Botín in the Mind the Gap program. That there were 400 projects, and then Gate to Brain was one of the 2 selected in April 2020, when people was in the lockdown making carrot cakes. Mm-hmm. So we decided to create a company, okay? And then we were able to, with this investment, mature the technology and the asset and attract those 4.5 million euros from the European Commission Index Accelerator. So we have very well advanced to reach the point that we are 2 years or 2 years and a half from a clinical trial. So that has been our path until now. And not to advance the next question, but so what we are in the point of, okay, in this seed or Series A, we are looking for those 10 million euros. We know that the Commission will co-invest in half of it. And this is for the clinical trial, but you need to find that investor for those 5 million euros. And that's where Nuria and BioCat had Gate to Brain in mind and say, oh, there's a meeting in Barcelona taking place, you need to go there, because this matching of the stage of money that you are looking or raising and the stage of the investors that are in the meeting that you attend, that sometimes you need to make that match.
Okay, so in 2020 you had to raise 5 more million.
So in 2020, since the beginning, the initial investment in equity and then non-dilutive grants of these 4.5 million euros, and then we are raising this Series A of 10 millions. But the Commission, we have the commitment of a co-investment of 5 million, so we are looking for 5 millions.
In terms of a fundraising plan, when do you expect to close this 10 million round, and what if you could please give us more insights about your fundraising plan?
The fundraising plan, so this Christmas, the RESI Accelerator, that is the last grant that we have obtained, has 2 tranches. One that it's grant, one that it's equity. In the grant, we had the grant, and then you as applicant establish one milestone, a key milestone, that really opens the negotiation with the Commission. And this milestone in our case was the orphan designation, and we have the orphan designation from the Europe, and now we have applied to the FDA orphan designation. So once you have the milestone, you start to negotiate with the Commission to match, okay, you need to present the VC that can lead, and then they can match this investment. So we are at this stage of starting to negotiate. That's why we are looking for the lead investor of that Series A that we will love to close somewhere in November or like this.
Okay.
Like a Christmas gift. Like
So, okay. Thank you so much. So now we are advancing more. We are discovering more about the story of Meditate and RESI. So first of all, I would like to ask you what motivated you to pitch, right? Maybe you already discussed it, but yeah, what were the main reasons, the main drive, and what said to you like, hey, this is the best opportunity for me?
It's part of my job, no? As CEO and CSO, it's part of my job is to visualize the project and pitch that, no? To explain. If not, nobody will join our team or our effort or our journey to the brain. So I was attending different meetings, RESI Europe or RESI Spain at different levels, and then I think that it was Nuri and the BioCat team that they make this this mixing of the ecosystem here, tries to also look outside the of Catalonia, and we were also at the moment that we wanted to find international investors, but that international investors that were at the stage that we were. So, and that's why we say, okay, and then Nuria say, there's a pitch, there's a pitch that I think that you need to enroll, and it has been amazing. It was amazing only for the training. So because obviously the more you train, the better you do it, okay? So it's not that you never know enough. Or it can be very different when you pitch to an European or to a national investor than when you pitch to an international or American or a Japanese investor. So the more you train, the more that you go close to the reality. So I think that Nuria contributes to the fact that we participate in the challenge.
Amazing. Tell us, please, how was your experience pitching to a panel of investors, judges, including American investors?
I think it prepared us. It was not done in purpose, no, you pitch because you need to attract the investors that were at RESI Barcelona. And as Greco was telling, there were a lot of them here. So you need to present them the project and this, no? But it trains a lot us for when we win the pitch competition and we were able to go to the other RESIs, no? And embed in another ecosystems, like the Boston or the RESI JP Morgan in San Francisco. There will be more enriched in US-based investors. So it was like a pseudo training. So it was good. I love sharing our idea and our journey. And I think it is a journey of impact, but of business. It has this balance of team impact and business. So I enjoy it a lot. And then winning the pitch was the opportunity to go for the other ones and to go more trained, probably.
Amazing. So you said that you, thanks to winning the first prize of IPC at RESI Europe last year, you could travel to the US, attending the RESI JP Morgan in San Francisco, right? And at RESI Boston. So please tell us how was this travel for you and how did it impact?
The impact so the technology, no? And it's related to what I will explain. The technology is not only useful for pediatric oncology, no? So this is our first asset, but really the platform of delivering drugs across the blood-brain barrier can be used for other things. So what we have done is to take advantage of the award to attend the Boston and the San Francisco RESI and make the most of it, no? So I went together with Carlos from our BD manager. So the two of us, we attend there, and then we organize the meetings at the RESI, but also take the advantage of being there to potential co-developments with pharma during that week. So we put an agenda, like a pack agenda, but it's true that you can do it online, but as I mentioned, we are humans after all. So we also like to be in person.
Yeah.
So we are humans after all.
What was the outcome? Did you get any great connection from RESI, and what was yeah?
I would say so, especially from the one that we in San Francisco, the RESI JP Morgan, which for me was first time there. Everyone was telling me this will be crazy, you will see. So for that week will be crazy. We were very well connected with a couple of, especially brain tumor associations were interested in our project. And I think it's something relevant for us because could be money, but also it's really smart money of explaining if really we are on the right track to go for kids to adults, how it will be for the product. So it was a very good experience, not only about the investment, but about making everything happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. It not only like RESI.
Can I add a follow-on question there? So I think that when you attend a partnering conference like RESI, the metrics that you need to look at are, how many people did you meet? Of those people, how many did you have a follow-up meeting? I think that's a really important metric. Yeah. And then how many of those have you continued to be in contact with over the months following the conference?
At this stage, Greg, so we have had, from the last one, we have had quite a lot of extra follow-up meetings and some CDAs on place. So that's a good path. It's true that all these meetings, even the one in Barcelona, like the initial one, you need to prepare it a lot. So it's an opportunity to be 1 week or 3 days in the RESI or whatever online, but you need to, which we will do, how we do it, how we will take. So it's part of that work. No, it's not only you go there and they will come. It's not, you need to prepare to know which have been the last deals, no? That there was a deal on a I will be so honored if it's a similar company, but there was a company called Aliada that was acquired by ABB with a technology to cross the blood-brain barrier by $1,000 million last November. I would be more than happy if we have the same outcome at the end, no? But you need to know what exactly is happening, no? And to explain to everyone the opportunity.
Also, I will add on this is that Life Science Nation does several webinars until the conference to help entrepreneurs prepare the partnering session. So Life Science Nation recommends to do several messages on the partnering system, like up to 4 messages for each contact. Yeah, just to be consistent and be persistent to get the answer, right? So this is also important to do the work in order to achieve as much meetings as possible.
Can I add a question there? I speak to a lot of companies that have attended the RESI conference, and sometimes companies are disappointed. They don't get as many meetings as they hoped. But just a few days ago, I was speaking to a company that told me that they only sent 10 meeting requests to investors, and they were disappointed that they only got one meeting or one response. And you said, Marichel, that it's important to prepare a conference before going. So can you give a little bit of insight about how you prepared for RESI?
I think that even after Barcelona, we attend the Boston and then London and then RESI JP Morgan. So even in the one in London, for some investors, we were like, okay, maybe we cannot meet here, but we will be in the next one. So we were taking advantage of, so I would say that somewhere in November or October, we start to prepare the RESI at San Francisco. So 3 months in advance. And also, yes, some of the meetings happen because sometimes they are busy, but the good thing is that I have not found any meeting that when you are there, they say, oh, you are too early. We normally enter in series. So no, you need to make the match that you are a candidate. Things will happen or not, but that there's a matching. No, if they are completely in Series C, it's not our path nowadays. So it's very early for this pre-Series C, Series A, Series B is the best place, because sometimes you go to another, you have meetings, but the meetings are from an investor that is at completely other stage or looking for other types of companies. Then you don't have answer for that. So yes, we plan it quite in advance, and we will love to organize that. Yeah, you need to organize that.
My last question. So could you please tell us what would you say to someone thinking about pitching at the IPC this year at RESI? So why they should join us?
I will make one sentence, okay? Train. Okay, you train a lot. You take the advantage and the experience, and also the opportunity to visualize your company. If you win, it's great. So, but you need to train and receive the feedback. No, sometimes you don't like that people give you feedback. No, and like you need to improve this. No, I'm not sure if I don't remember. I'm sorry, Greg. I don't remember if there's a RESI in Asia. I'm not sure if there's any in Asia, but I'm sure that it will be different to invest, to pitch in different places, no? So you need to train and to be open to receive feedback. I think that there was a question because something,
Yes.
someone say,
Yeah.
Somebody from
no,
Alicante
it's not
is asking.
no, it's no. Up to my knowledge, is open to the RESI in Barcelona is open to everyone. So
Yes.
it was a curiosity that I was in Barcelona and then I applied for that, but it's open to everyone.
It is, and there are actually investors and companies coming from all over Europe, especially, and investors from North America and Asia. But the companies that are coming, I would say, less than half are from Spain, and maybe 60% are from other European countries.
Thank you so much for your telling us all your experience. In conclusion, RESI, it's a great opportunity, not just for getting investment and open doors to other international and American investors, but also to create international connections with hospitals, research institutions, corporates, and other potential partners. So definitely, it's a great opportunity, and we are very glad that you enjoy it and that you would be able to go to the US, attending RESI JP Morgan in San Francisco and RESI Boston.